prescription when Aleve is the next best thing.
Getting away to the country was a great idea.
Yeah, even the food tastes better.
Someone else seems to think so, too.
Country Crock churn style. Now, even more like fresh churned butter.
The Saturn Vue comes standard with four-wheel independent suspension. Split folding rear seats for more cargo space.
Let's go, we're losing light.
And electric power steering. The Saturn Vue. Get in, get away. Get the 2003 Saturn Vue at 0% APR. For restrictions, see your local retailer.
Admit it. It's okay. You're a procrastinator. Good. Because now putting things off actually pays off. Travelocity has last-minute deals that will save your hide and reward the wallet it's sitting on. Take a look.
Get deals including airfare and hotel as low as $150.
Now that's worth looking into. But no hurry. You can always do it later. Last-minute deals at Travelocity. Call or see site for details.
Travelocity's biggest cruise sale ever is going on now.
Tomorrow, brace yourself for storm stories. A race against time.
We need to get the mother and the child in the basket now.
As a river rages out of control.
The river was washing away the house.
Plus, it's been called the storm of the century. It was no normal storm. See how this superstorm devastates 800 miles from Florida to Maine. Watch a new series from the Weather Channel, Storm Stories, tomorrow at 8 Eastern.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local forecast, always on the 8s of every hour.
In Philadelphia, 1.5 feet of snow is crippling the streets and sidewalks in Philadelphia. The snow is coming to an end, but those of you in Boston, it's just beginning to get heavy. Ice is a major problem in areas of North Carolina. Raleigh is still at a standstill, but this ice will not be sticking around too much longer. A major warm-up is in the forecast. some good news there. Hello, and thanks so much for joining us. Here at the bottom of the hour, I'm Lisa Moser. We are in alert mode here at the Weather Channel, and that is because some areas of the Northeast have seen upwards of 2 feet of snow. And today we are looking at Boston getting a lot of this heavy snow. The storm is not over yet, but let's look at some of the numbers. They are very impressive. Columbia, Maryland, 26.8 inches of snow. Washington, D.C., 18 inches of snow. A few more numbers here for you. Little Egg Harbor in New Jersey, 24 inches of snow. Glassboro, New Jersey, home of Glassboro State, 20 inches of snow. Philadelphia, 18 inches of snow. That's a lot of snow. And in addition to all that snow on the ground, we have some very cold temperatures to deal with, and it's a very windy day. Our storm analyst, John Neese, has been on board monitoring the situation throughout the morning and is with us this afternoon. John, looks like New York may see a little bit of a break here shortly.
Yeah, the back edge of the heaviest accumulating snow approaching the New York City area. I don't think this will be necessarily the end of the accumulating snow, but the heavy snow will be coming to an end in the city within the next hour or so. If we go to our moving radar, we can see that back edge right about here, but they're becoming more diffuse with time as we get some additional development just to the south, likely in response to low pressure, which is just starting to strengthen off the Virginia coast. It's really been high pressure centered over New England that has been responsible for most of this storm. I say that because this helps supply the cold air, which you must have in place in order to keep these big snowstorms all snow in the major cities. Despite the fact that we have had some milder air work in off the Atlantic, that has risen up and over the colder air at the surface and helped create some incredible snow totals. Here's also some very strong winds. We're seeing northeasterly breezes gusting above 30 miles an hour at times, and with time, the stronger winds will head northeastward and create near blizzard conditions not only in New York City right now, but in the states of Connecticut and Massachusetts. Boston, be ready for near blizzard conditions from later this afternoon, really getting underway as we speak through the first half of tonight. And we've even seen a feed of moisture on our water vapor imagery from the subtropics, from the Caribbean feeding into this storm. And now we're seeing that classic comma shape that we often see in these mature mid-latitude snowstorms, indicating that they are very, very intense. We're seeing some bands embedded within this is all snow. I've changed colors on you here, but look at this very heavy band. Just about every reporting station in the state of Connecticut reporting heavy snow as we speak. And here are the additional snow accumulations through midnight, a large area of 6 to 12 inches, much of southern New York, southeastern New York, all of Massachusetts and Connecticut and Rhode Island. And we will add additional snow on top of this tonight in the Boston area. Your total accumulation by morning will be in the 16 to 20 inch range.
And again, John, as you said, the wind is adding into the system. We didn't have that so much yesterday.
That's exactly right, Lisa. The wind now with this storm strengthening off the coast, this is becoming truly a nor'easter in the sense with those strong northeast winds. Undoubtedly a lot of coastal flooding going on and big waves right at the shore.
We had the cold weather, though, and that is still with us. Thank you, John Neese, our storm analyst. We're looking at some of the very impressive snow totals. I just want to remind everyone that there's a lot of snow out there. If you don't have to get out in this, good. Stay home. It has been life-threatening, and it will continue to be a problem even as we go through the next couple of days. As John did say, it's a nor'easter. It's going to track up to the northeast fairly quickly in comparison to the time that it took to cross over the Atlantic, but still overall a fairly slow mover, and that means we have time to see that snow really add up. Temperatures, that 32-degree line, which is the mark of the melting point and the freezing point, is still dripping right across the Carolinas. You know what that means? That we're still likely to see some melting and some refreezing. And for travelers in the Carolinas, that's still going to be a problem. Before I go to that, I just want to remind everyone that a lot of the snow, even though it has ceased across the Jersey area and the Philadelphia vicinity, the wind is strong enough that it can pick up a lot of that snow and some snow drifts, especially on roads that have not been treated or have not been cleaned. So travel for you in the Pennsylvania, Jersey area and D.C. still very difficult, even though the snow has ended pretty much. A little more snow in the forecast for you. All that cold weather, single digits and lots of 20s for the northeast. Tomorrow, the upper level low is going to bring us some snow showers. And yes, D.C., you're likely to see some accumulation. Not a lot, but some. Let's go south now. Again, we do have an old frontal boundary associated with our nor'easter. It's still draping across the extreme southern areas of Georgia, but I don't think we're going to see very much in the way of rain showers or thunderstorms like we did yesterday across the Florida area. It's still pretty cloudy, though. Looking out towards the Raleigh area, let me show you what it looked like a little earlier in the Raleigh vicinity. Yesterday, at times, we were looking at sleet come down for hours upon hours of time, a good 3 to 4 hours for sure. Yesterday afternoon in the Raleigh area, we saw sleet coming down. So it's a very icy situation. Now, the temperatures are getting close to the melting point. Not there yet. If we make it, if we see some melting, just keep in mind that it's still going to likely refreeze over the course of tonight. It's going to get cold again. So still some problems for travel. Probably still not a good idea. Stay home. It's a holiday. Why not? 29 right now in Raleigh. It's 42 in New Orleans. Now let me talk a little bit about Texas because the Panhandle is going to see some moisture feed in from the west. There's a disturbance that's going to make its way away from the Rockies. And so Tulsa, you've got a chance of seeing some showers. High temperature 55. A warm up for the Carolinas tomorrow. And that means some melting and a better day to do your travel. We've had some very cold conditions across the Midwest, but we're seeing a southwesterly flow meet our vicinity here, right around the Dakotas, 39 in Pierre. So some melting here going on with some old snow that's still in place. Chicago tomorrow, no snow in the forecast for you. The high temperature 40 degrees. A very unsettled weather pattern for the Pacific Northwest, and yes, this is good news. Rain in the valleys, mountain snow for the Cascades and the Northern Sierra. We'll be back. Your locals on the 8. Stay with us.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Do you use an inhaler? Do you still have problems breathing? Do you use albuterol or other respiratory medications? If so, Medicare may cover a more effective liquid breathing medication. Call Star Medical at 1-800-530-08.